Hello friends, today I am going to demonstrate ASP.NET Core Web API example, and this is here is the first .NET Core example sample program, and is fully working with the database. Now we will select the API. Yes, it's a configure for HTTPS with option, and we are now creating a new project. That is the tc.web API. This is the presentation layer, and now defining another one. We are taking another project is the class library tc.context. This is the entity framework context, and here is now define the entity framework. In this project we are using the entity framework to work with the database, and we are naming this class tc core dv context. Yeah, this is the tc core dv context. Now it's renaming the class name. Here we will import dv context so that we can define here the all the context. Now dv context, and for dv context we'll use the Microsoft.EntityFrameworkCore is namespace. It required the namespace. Now we are building the tc.context project. Now it started the building. Now started the building the project, and now you see the in the progress. Now is now project already built, and now you can see the one project succeeded, and there is not any failure or other one is successfully build the project. And now this requires the namespace, that is the Microsoft.EntityFramework.dll. Now we'll install the dependency to run the program. Now we'll go on the package manager console. From here we can install any dependency that is required in our project. Now we are writing the text to install the entity framework DLL. Now this is the context project is tc.context, where we need to the install the entity framework DLL. Now it's install hyphen package dash package Microsoft dot entity framework core. Here is the core. In the core earlier was the only entity framework, but here is added the new one, entity framework core is version 2.1.1. Yes, now we are installing the entity framework in our application. Now you see that already installed the successfully, and here now you can add the, yes, here is now the it's adding the Microsoft.EntityFramework core. namespace, so that we can use the DVContext. Under that we can write all the schema that later can be used in application. Now here is the defining so TC core DVContext, and now it's defining another method under this one class public TC core DVContext options. Yes, under this one TC core DVContext, and close this one, and the options and now inherit from the base options, and I'll leave it here. Okay, we'll define another method, that is the protected override void on model creating. Is the on model creating method. It's the model builder to create the model. Is here is the model builder parameter, and we will create of the object it model builder. Now base, under the method body we will write the base dot on model creating, and we will pass the model builder model builder parameter. Here is writing the base dot on model creating, and passing the parameter model builder. This is another method. Now we will write another method to make our context. We will define another. Yeah, here is the public override int save changes. Yes, int and save changes, and it will be automatically write the, this is the standard context text. Yeah, it's now saving, and now we will it one to say that there is no to see is there any. Okay, so yeah, it's built very successfully. You see there succeeded this one with building the project, and we will defining another project in adding the new project in our solution, that is the model. To create the model, we will use the model in our application, and here we will define the model, and we are renaming default class with demos. Under the demos we will write the entities, and that would be the ID and name. There would be the two entities. We are taking here two entity. One is the ID integer type data type, and second one is the name, that would be the string type. Name is the string type, string, sorry, yeah, here is the string and no name. Now it's we are getting and setting the property to get the value and set the value. Now we have already built the model project, and now we will build the project, and you see that successfully built the project, and now we will add the reference model in our context, because we will use here the model also is the model project under one. Here we will write the schema. Here you see the dv set demos, and its object is the demo. We will write the demo. Here is the model. Yeah, it's calling for the model to call the objects demos, and this is the demo. Yes, we'll write here and get and set, and this one, close this one. Here is the opening the SQL Server to check the schema. Here now, yeah, you see the now project tc.context, tc.model, tc.web API. Now there are the three projects, and we will create another project that would be for the service, and it will communicate with other projects also. There is the model and context project, and defining the tc.service. Now we have already created the new project tc.service. Now here you see the okay. Now we will delete the class one and create a new folder, infrastructure and data service. We will create the two folder. One is the infrastructure and data service first, service, and next one is the infrastructure. Okay, okay, there are the two. We will using the interface. Yes, interface. We will define the ITC demo. ITC demo for the interface, defining the interface. Now click on that. Now this will create the interface for our application. Yes, TC demo. Here is the TC demo. Okay. Under the TC demo, here we will implement our interface, and now call it the public. Earlier this was the private. Now with the using the public identifier, it will be using for the public. We can use in other projects also. And here adding the reference of the context and model project, because we will use both context and model in this project, that is the service under the tc.service project. And here we will define the methods that would be used in a web API project. Now let's call the public list demos get demo. Just here is the listing the data, listing the objects from the database. So we are defining the method with the get demo, and sorry, it's not required to the public, is already the public interface, and now we need to the under this one and inherit. Okay, inherit from the ITC demo. Here we will implement here. Yes, implement our interface class. You see here how we can call TC demo. private read only. One more thing here, we will use the dependency injection. That is the very important, and it's MVC. In the latest version of the MVC, dependency injection was introduced to make our application more robust. So we will use here the dependency injection, and dependency injection is using the namespace Microsoft.Extensions.DependencyInjection. Here he has defined private read only as object of the our context, that is a tc core DVContext underscore context. Here is the defining tc public tc demo tc core DVContext, and here is defining is writing the text so that we can implement here dependency injection, and this is the context, and underscore context the passing the context, and you will see. Now we will use this one in our method while we are retrieving the data from the database using entity framework. So this is the demos. I think here we need to call the namespace tc.model. That will make our code workable. Now yes, get demo. Yes, yeah, that's here is the tc.model. Yeah, this forget to write the is using the namespace tc.model, and this is the context.demo dot to list, and it to list require the system dot link you, and we are calling the namespace system dot link you, that it will help our method to workable. Now you see the now we will write some code in startup that is required under the method configure services. Here we will write some, yeah, this is for the dependency injection services dot add transient the itc demo itc demo using infrastructure tc.service.infrastructure. Here is the, or we have defined the interface class, and now we will add that tc.service. Under that we have written the interface. Yes, interface class is tc. It's required that demo. It's still the problem. TC demo. Yes, it's taken. Another one is the TC demo. Okay, it requires the namespace also. This is the tc.service.data service. Yes, this is the namespace required to import before use in our application. Now here TC demo. Okay, this is for the dependency injection. Okay, Microsoft.Extensions.DependencyInjection is the namespace. Okay, now we will define other method under this one startup. Now we will write the services.configure cookie policy option. This is for the cookie, and we will define the object, and under this object options, okay, just here we need to write options. Okay, under this one dot check consent needed under the options, and context lambda is true. Here says the true. Now close this line. Now is the option dot here is the problem minimums site policy equal to same site more dot none. Now close the line. It's still here the problem under this text, so we need to correct this one also. We need to look into the problem. Where is the issue? Okay, here is the options object actually. We had to find just building the project. Still syntax error is showing us. Here is the syntax problem. Okay, there is a something we need to fix, make our code workable. Is here require the curly brackets. Now move this section to here. Now arranging the section, and it requires the Microsoft.AspNetCore.Http. It's required the namespace. Now you see there is the still problem. Yes, we got the problem, and this is the main. That's why our code was not working. Now what? There is a still problem. There is a minimum site policy. Just hold on. Oh, okay. No, I think it's working fine. No. Yes. We already written this code, and we will define another for the configuration. We will write the some section, another section. Yes, here This lambda determines whether user whether user consent for non essential cookies needed for a given request. It is this section is for the cookie policy. So we writing here the code. Essential cookies is needed for a given request. We have written this one. Service dot add DVContext, and here is calling the our context tg core DVContext. Writing the this section for our configuration. It is required in the startup file, the startup class. Here is taking under the option is dot use SQL server. For the SQL server, to connect with the SQL server, we are writing this code. Yes, options for in the lower case and that's why I use SQL server, and under the this one parameter configuration dot get connection string, and here we will define the object for the connection string. We will call here connection string. In MVC there was the other way to call the our connection string. Here is different way in .NET Core to call our connection string. Yes, here core db database is the connection string name, and it's using Microsoft Entity Framework Core. Yeah, this namespace was required to make this section workable. Here now you will see you will see how succeeded this one also. We built the project, and it succeeded. Now it's successfully succeeded, and this one is yeah we also configured our startup class also, because it's very important part of our web API application. If now here in the app settings.json, here we will define our connection string. Here is the connection strings. Here we will write here connection strings. This is the way to write in the app setting JSON. Now here we are connecting our application with SQL Server database. Now we need to provide the server name, database name, user ID, password. These are the required credentials to connect with the backend. Here is the server name and database name. Database name is a test. Now we also need to provide user ID and password of the database, and this is the password. And you see, just we hiding the security regions. Here is the database. Yeah, this is the table. Just we have taken the sample table, table demo only, and you can see here there are the three records under this table: test 1 and technology crowns. They are the three rows, and this one is also the introduced in the .NET Core app settings.json. Now we will move to the controller where we will call our logic what's far so written in the application. Now we will call from here to show to retrieve the database and show in the our in our output. Here also calling for the dependency injection. Here is a it's a service, because under the service we have written our interface, and we require that one here. So we imported the under the service dot tc dot service. There are the two namespaces, infrastructure and data service. One for the defining the interface and other one is for implementation of the interface class. Now you see here, right here written the private read only ITC demo is the interface, and object is the underscore context. Now we will public value controller and ITC demo, and this is the context. Whatever you taken here is no problem. Underscore context equal to context. No problem. Here is okay. Now this is the by default, that is API slash values. Now we will modify this one is model. Here is we call the namespace tc dot model because we require the model also. Now we comment is old is by default, and now we are defining our code under context dot get demo. We have called the object get demo. From here we will retrieve the data from the our SQL server, and here is the we just compiled the application. What here is showing, we are just forgot to write return method to return this method. Now build successfully, all the project built now succeeded everything. Now we will see the output in our browser what we have written so far in our application. Now it show the database in our browser. Now this is the API values. APIs API underscore values slash values. The routing is the from the API slash value. This is the get demo. Now you see the data on the browser. There are the three records. First test1. You can see compare here. Test1, and third one is the technology codes. And you see how we have retrieved the data from the web API. Thanks friends. Now I'll come up with the new video. Thanks. Have a nice day.